Good evening, everybody. My name is Kip, and if this is your first time here, this is America Bumper to Bumper, and this is Car Chat with Kip. We are in Season 2, Episode 4, and on this live stream, we talk car news, we talk recalls, and then we do something fun that I call Buy It or Boot It, where we search Facebook Marketplace for cars and decide whether it's a good price or whether it's not. So join us in on that, and we will wait for just a minute while we get some more eyes in here, and then we will go and start checking out. Hey, Sean, thanks for coming in. Walt, thanks for stopping in. Really appreciate both of you being here. So we're going to start things off by channel updates. Never mind R2. Just gotta check. All right, no, that's just saying that I'm live. Huh? What do you know? So we are going to start off with channel updates. I have grown a little bit since our last week, which is awesome. We're up to 381 subscribers, which is, I don't know, 3 or 4 more than we had last week, which is a thumbs up, great thing. We are, well, hello, Alexandra Polish girl. Thank you for stopping in. Appreciate it. Pull the batteries out of that. Yeah, I can't. It's my phone. I got it, but I will put it on silent so I don't have to. You don't have to hear that. So, anyways, other than that, things are going well. Our latest video, which is, thank you very much, Sean. I appreciate that. What did I do? What was I saying? Latest upload, which is we're getting back into our How Well It Held Up series, where I go to a local used car dealership, grab keys for whatever car they'll hand me to, and then go out and drive it and see if it's worth the amount of money that well, not really whether it's worth the amount of money that they're asking for it, but whether the car's held up well over the years. So this past week we had 2 videos come out on the How Well It Held Up. First one was on our personally our 2011 Buick LaCrosse, and the second video, which I posted up on Wednesday, was a 2010 Kia Soul. That's getting some really good views right now, which is always a great thing. And I thank everybody who is taking the time to watch that video. So let's get into our oh gosh, my brain no worky well. We're going to get into what we're going to talk about. So yeah, here's what I was saying. 21 views, a lot of comments on this video, which is it's pretty high for a lot of the videos that I've been doing. 132 views over the last 48 hours, which is pretty good for me. Let's go. First story for tonight. This is on Autoblog, as you can see up here. The Dodge Challenger. Take your time. It's going to be up there for a while, Walt. It's actually, the Kia, I got to say, it's a surprising car. Right, hon?
Right. Wrong.
Of course, kids are going to be contrary. So Dodge Challenger outsold Mustang and Camaro in third quarter of 2019. Wow. But it's not the 2019 sales leader, which not a big surprise there. I think that would go to the Mustang. Let's see if it tells us. Dodge Challenger is nearly old enough to start driver's ed in some states, and it doesn't have a firm grasp on the increasingly crucial concept of downsizing, yet it beat the odds to become the most popular American two-door model during the third quarter of 2019. Its blooming sales figures suggest buyers don't always want the latest, most advanced car they can get their hands on. 18,031 Challengers were sold, 21% increased over the same period of last year. It's normally sardined in the same can as the Camaro and the Mustang, smaller, nimbler two doors. Let's see, the Mustang, Mustang sold 16,000 cars, and the Camaro, 12,000. For a 12-year-old body style, yes, this is amazing that it's doing so well, as it does. But then again, they can make tons of money off of it because they've gotten very little money sunk into the. All the architecture and everything's already been paid off, so might as well milk it for as much as you can, especially when you keep doing cool things like all-wheel drive, wide bodies, and the Hellcats and all that sort of stuff. Although the body isn't fresh, everything else is, and that's I think why it's doing well. Yep, and so it is not the sales leader for the year. That goes to Mustang, which is not surprising. Don't mess with what works. Absolutely. I think that though is the one thing that has hurt the Camaro, in my opinion, is they didn't go. They either needed to stay with what they had, like the Challenger, or they needed to go in a completely separate direction. Make it something completely different and new. Granted, the Mustang, it's not a new style by any stretch of the imagination, but they've changed it enough that it keeps people going back. But Camaro, I think the problem is they downsized it a bit, but didn't really change the look of it. So anyways, that's my 2 cents on that. So the Mustang is 55,000, over 55,000 sales so far this year, to Challengers 46 and Camaro's 36. So Camaro is really taking a beating. And I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think the updated front end for the car also had a hand in its declining sales? Or do you think it's just the car overall? Got away with it, people. Yep, very much so. So Challenger, best third quarter sales, which is very, very impressive. All right. So anybody that doesn't know, one of the best-selling, hottest vehicles on the market today is the Kia Telluride. Kia's full-size, 3-row, 4-wheel drive SUV. And I saw this article about a Telluride pickup, and it's like, if Kia's going to get into it, they might as well do it with something like the Telluride. And the picture that I initially saw was reminded me of the Avalanche, the Chevy Avalanche. Let's scroll through these pictures and see if it does that. So this is the side view of the Telluride. The only thing I don't like about this Telluride is the rear end. That just looks a little funky for me, but other people like it. So this is Hyundai's concept. It's not as big as the Telluride, as if I remember correctly. And of course, ads, more Telluride. Maybe it's down here. Oh, here we go. There we go. Telluride short pickup. Now, I've always said, I'm not a huge fan of the kind of unibody type deal. I like, trucks with beds. But I've also always really loved the Avalanche. Thought it was unique enough that it worked. Plus, you're able to it was capable as far as towing, and the fact that you could put the seats down in that little trap door or whatever you want, and be able to actually put full sheets of sheetrock or plywood, that sort of stuff. Really, for me, always just a cool thing. Plus, the fact that you had you know seating for 5, maybe 6 in certain models of the Avalanche, but it's really cool. So if Kia went ahead with a Telluride pickup, kind of the same sort of design that Motor Trend rendered, I think it'd be cool. And I don't know, like it says in the article right here, Telluride pickup would be likely following the same mid-size category as the Honda Ridgeline, Colorado, and Ranger. So I thought the Telluride was a full-size truck, more along the lines of like a Tahoe, but maybe I'm wrong. And Walt, I'm not like the new front end. Yeah, the Camaro, new Camaro front end was very polarizing. I think they've tried to make it a little bit better, but I guess it doesn't really matter much because I think it's going away. That's the news, anyways. So now, funny thing is, I don't mind the taillights as much on the renderings of this pickup than the Telluride itself. Yep, very cool. I could rock that. Oop, apparently opened that twice. All right, this is one that I really love, of course, because I'm a Continental owner. If you guys remember last year for the 2019 model year, Lincoln Continental had a suicide door option. Last year, they only sold 80. They had 80 of these cars slated. They sold for well over $100,000, and the 80 of those cars sold out in like 48 hours, and that got Ford and Lincoln execs going, must be there's a market for it. So what they have done is for 2020, they're bringing it back. It's now called the Coach Door Edition. And this time they're going to be offering more than 80. Still don't think you're going to be able to run out and grab them because there's only going to be 150 made this time. Back a regular cab pickup Telluride. I could do that. I think I know that most people now are buying their trucks for family use, but there are times where I would really like a 2-door regular cab, something, and it just seems like those are kind of gone to the wayside, and it's a bummer. Anyways, back to the Continental Coach Door Edition. 150 are available this time, and you're going to be spending a whole lot more money on it. Read, I don't know if it was in this article or another one, $115,000. But for the people out there that are going to want this thing, I guess 115,000 isn't that big of a deal. But when the top of the line Continental as it sits right now is 70 grand, 45,000 on top of that, just to have the suicide doors, not so sure that that's worth the deal. Now, to be forthright with it, you do get some cool stuff other than the door. The Continental Coach Door Edition, they're actually longer. They're lengthened, and I believe And it's in the black trim edition, black trim level, or black label trim level. Whoa. So they are, it's like I said, the top of the line. These are coach built. That's why they say, coach door edition. The cars are sent off to a company that lengthens it, changes the doors over, all that sort of stuff. So, 45 grand extra for something is, I guess, not that bad. Now, if they could do this suicide and get rid of that B pillar, that would be worth the 115 grand. Hey, Benny, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you being here. Suicide doors, still per the 61. Yeah, early Continentals do look just a little bit better than the later ones. But, another thing that it'd be cool to have them do is the, four-door convertible like the, 60s Continentals. That would be pretty cool too. Now, something interesting that I read in another article about this that I did not know about the Continental is that car is built on a stretched version of the Ford Fusion platform. That's surprising. Hey, Grant, thanks for stopping in. Really appreciate you stopping in for a bit around the house. Oh, hey, listening and watching doesn't really matter as long as you're here. Much appreciated. Thanks, buddy. So, what do you guys think? 2020 Lincoln Continental Coach Door Edition. If you had the money and the ability to get one of those 150 units, would you? All right. Now this is kind of an old story. Always a market to have something different or special to brag rights. Yep. Structural integrity and safety. What, the coach door? Yeah. Yeah, Benny. That's kind of surprised me. The last year's model, the 80 that they did actually didn't cost quite as much. I think they still a lot. I think they're like 110, 105, 110 grand. But these one, the 150, it's 115,000. Definitely a lot of money for Lincoln. So anyways, 36 Chevy Corvette barn find. And I said, this is kind of an old story with a little bit more info put in there. Yep. Now 115 grand, Sean, what you're saying for a pillarless car or the four-door convertible, that would be mind-blowing and well worth 115 grand. Anyway, years ago, back in, I guess it's about 1989 or 90, something like that. VH1 held a contest to win a year a model of Corvette from each year of production. 36 years, or 36 cars. You might do the math and realize there should be 34. You have to remember that 1983, there was not a Corvette produced. There was no 1983 Corvettes. So that's why there's a year short. So 36 Corvettes. And what VH1 did is you could call in to a 900 number, spend $2, and you could get entered to win 36 Corvettes, one for each year. Some guy won, and as he was getting ready to take delivery of the cars, fairly eccentric artist offered him a bunch of money and some artwork for all the cars because the guy wanted to do some sort of art project with all the Corvettes. ended up all 36 of these vets got parked in various warehouses, parking lots, that sort of stuff over the years, and were never touched for, it says down here, well, 25 years, I think it is. Yeah, letting them rot for 25 years. So a group called Corvette Heroes purchased all of these cars, and now you will be able to, they're going to be auctioned off. Oh, no, okay. So they're going to good homes for each one through a national sweepstakes. That's fitting because it's how it was done all before. And all the proceeds go to U.S. Military veterans. So that's very cool. So Corvette Heroes, if you guys are yeah, so you can help out a good cause and maybe win yourself a whole lot of Corvettes. So go to search Corvette Heroes, and I'm sure you'll be able to find that story. Let's go back into the chat. So yes, the 84 was supposed to be 83, but they're having a bunch of issues with it, so they decided rather than yes, at least they weren't left outside. Yeah, but they were decided not to do an 83 so that they could iron out all the extra issues. I actually didn't know about the not having an 83 Corvette. I think maybe about a year ago is when I found out about that. But nonetheless, actually, I think at one point they were concerned that the C8 was going to be headed down that road as well. Not having a 2020 and having to be a 21, but apparently they've pulled their heads out of their asses and found the all the fixes they need to. Hey, Pete, thanks for stopping in. I really appreciate it. Before you go, I had your zip code written down for our buy it or boot it, but apparently my wife or somebody threw that page out. So later on, remind me what your zip code is. All right. So 36 Corvettes all being raffled off, and boy, that makes Street Speed 717's raffles look like child's play. But we do need to see how much it's going to cost for those raffle tickets, and I would hate to pay the taxes on all that. Anyway, all right, I got that 28079. All right, thank you. We'll definitely use your zip for when we get into buy it or boot it. Work on the vet. Yeah, that would have been and that story. Pete, is something I never knew that Carol Shelby wanted to work on the vet. That would have been insane. Yeah, I'm hoping to have a Mustang. No, sorry, Sean. Mustang's mine. No, I really don't have any. I bought some stuff, but be some schmo from Tennessee or Arkansas or something. Way before he went to Ford. Huh. That's sad that but then again, Shelby was known for his driving, but was never at that point known for his business acumen. So I guess GM just didn't want to take that risk at the time, but I'm sure somebody was kicking themselves not long after. Alrighty then, got a couple of recalls, and then we're going to buy it or boot it. GM has had a long history of doing dumb things. All right, 2020 Explorer, Escape, and F-Series Super Duties are being recalled for a various amount of issues. I did talk about a couple episodes ago that there was fair amount of issues with the 2020 Explorer that was causing them not to get shipped out to dealers in a timely fashion. Let's see what the recall is for these ones now. 2020 Explorer has been recalled for improperly secured wiring harnesses. Ouch. Models fitted with either the 2.3 Turbo 4 or the 3.3 V6 are the specific subjects. Should the SUV house one of the bad wiring harnesses, it may rub against the air conditioner pulley. Oh. You'd think they'd figure that out way beforehand. Yeah, and that is the one really smart thing that GM did with their racing programs was Dale Earnhardt, because I know he did make a huge difference as far as product placement and that sort of stuff. So yeah, very, very smart. All right, so wiring harness could be cut by the air conditioner pulley. Wiring harness and may damage the wiring harness and or the air conditioning belt drive. Worst case scenario, pulley could expose wires, causing an unfused circuit, causing a short and fire. Ouch. 10,635 Explorers are part of this recall. So this recall and a couple other following reports of qualities out of an assembly plant that built the Explorer and its platform mate, the Aviator. Yeah, so that's what I was talking about before with them being shipped off to Flat Rock or something like that. 2020 Ford Escape. That's being recalled for missing a component to reinforce the seat back strength. Another not so good thing. What? Gotta wonder what's going on with Ford. It sounds like they've had lots of recalls for silly things lately. Originally, the recall affected the F-150 and the Super Duty. Previous generation Explorer, the new 2020 Explorer, Expedition, and Aviator. Damn. 9,300 Escape models are part of this same recall campaign. Like the Explorer, most of the problem SUVs remain at dealers. Well, that's a good thing. And they'll be repaired before sale. Finally, the third recall announced, 2019 F-Series Super Duty. In affected trucks, the passenger side axle shaft as possibly manufactured with steel that's not up to par for Ford. The lower grade steel could fracture, and it could lead to loss of power in two-wheel drive mode and the inability to keep the car in park. Trucks may roll away without the parking brake applied. Jeez. 29,000 of those Super Duties are affected, so 3 recalls in 1. Way to go, Ford. And finally, everybody knows that the 2020 Supra is actually a BMW underneath. Sean, thanks for staying with us as long as you could. Hopefully the kids go to bed without any issues for you. Have a good rest of your night. Yep, and the Mustang. Yeah, Ford's been, they're on a roll. Well, yeah, Chinese steel. All right. There's a safety recall from BMW, so Toyota owners of these Supras are getting a recall to take the cars to BMW. Luckily, it's only for 7 vehicles. Recall involving seatbelt guide loop mount on the 2020 Supra, which may have been welded improperly. So when that weld, when you get into an accident, yeah, only 4. Yeah, not a big number on these Supras, but still, it's kind of the reason I brought this up was the fact that Toyota you got to take it to your BMW dealership to get that problem fixed. So, damn. Well, it says here 747 doesn't really matter that much to me. Tiny number, but at least they caught it quick. Alrighty then, we are done with the news. It's actually kind of a slow news week, so we're going to go into Buy It or Boot It. For anyone who's new here that does not know what Buy It or Boot It is, what we do is we take a area of the country, we give a range of prices. Seems to work out well for let's say $8,000 to $10,000 range, because find some very interesting cars that really shouldn't be in there. And let's see if I can do 28079. All right, within 100 miles, and of course we are also only go up to 1995 for vehicles. All right, let's take a look at rip off time. Yeah, let's see. Let's take a look at this IROC Z for $9,990. 200,000. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. 200,000 miles. Oh gosh. Must be at a dealership. Available for purchase is this 1990 Chevy Camaro Z28 IROC Z Sport Coupe. No T-tops. Considered by many to be one of the up-and-coming collector cars, this IROC is a two-owner, very clean car that runs and drives great. 305 auto. The exterior and interior of this car are very nice. It looks to have been maintained and well loved by original owner. The body is straight, paint is shiny, IROC wheels are in good, with good tires, are ready to drive. Not the perfect show car that you would be afraid to drive. This is an affordable, iconic, I was going to say ironic, IROC Z. Let's go through the many pictures here. I do love my IROCs, I will say that. I do like this particular year. It's got the little scoops for the, brake cooling. But for me, got to have a T-tops. It's got to be a stick shift. And I'm already seeing in the first time, yeah. So yeah, it is like they said. It is a very clean car. Looks really good. Actually, I like some of the wagons in the background a little bit more. IROCs are definitely, I think, going to be an up and coming car to get your hands on. However, for me, and I fully agree with Pete on this, 207,000 miles. That 9,990 is way too much. And I'm sorry, but I'm the one of those guys that I would pay that amount for a car with a lot less mileage on it. Very clean, body, yes, very, nice looking interior. It does have a dash crack, which these cars are known for. I would say $6,000 car would be what I would pay for that car. Taking Pete car shopping with me, yeah. But yeah, if this car was T-top and 5-speed, that would be, I would say it would be more like a $7,500 car. But I would definitely not spend 10 grand or nearly 10 grand on a car with 207,000 miles. Nope. Rebuilt engine, rebuilt trans, that sort of stuff, maybe, but they don't say anything about that. All right, gonna give it over to you guys. I'm gonna scroll through this as slow as I can, and if there's something that you guys see that you want to take a look at, put it down in the comments. 86 Porsche 944 for 8,500. Wow. 84 944 for 9995. That's pricey. And that's not a Mitsubishi 3000 GT, but hey, Grant, thanks for stopping in as long as you could. I really appreciate it. Look at it. There is an ass for every seat. That is very true, Benny. Absolutely true. There are definitely people out there that are more than willing to, pay that kind of money for the car. I'm just saying that one wouldn't be mine. Yeah, if you can come back, Grant, fine. If not, not a problem. T-tops are in demand. Absolutely. This, I believe, it's not a Supra. That would be a Mitsubishi Starion, I believe. Let's take a... Yeah, 87 Starion, Mitsubishi Starion. Sam's Garage. Hey, thanks for coming in. I really appreciate you coming by. Appreciate it, very, very much. Me no taki well now, and I haven't even had anything to drink. Okay, so let's look at this Starion since we were talking about it a minute ago. 75,000 original miles, 100% original, runs great, new tires, everything works. 2.6 liter turbo, new head, engine. Okay, so it's had some engine work. The engine was completely rebuilt, 5-speed transmission, too much to list. It does very much look like a Supra, and a lot of people I know get those confused, which I think is part of the reason why they didn't last that long in the States. This is also the sister car to the Chrysler Conquest. I have seen, yeah, we can go back to that K5 Blazer in a minute, Walt. I've seen some really crazy builds on the Conquest. One in particular was at ironically, at a Mopar show. The Conquest had I think it was a 6-liter LS motor in it. Guy who I talked with about it said that it is an absolute monster. He can't control it. He's got to do a bunch of suspension work to it to make it, there. So let's look through these pictures, and then we'll go through. Yep, we'll definitely go back to that K5 in a second. Back from the liquor store, I'm about to get wasted and go to the club. Hey, have fun, but be safe, Sam. So, yep. Why does every white car seem to have a red interior? It's nice though that it looks like leather or vinyl. Either way. Yeah, 74,000 miles on it. And a 5-speed. .6 liter inline 4. Is that inline 6? I'm trying to look at the sparkers. Almost looks like it's an inline 6. Interesting. Although it doesn't look long enough to be an inline 6. When I drink alone. Oh, Pete, so sorry there. Although generally I, don't go out anywhere drinking either. It's just.
It's because you're poor.
Thank you, Daniel. Yes, we're poor. All right, let's go back up to the K5 Blazer. All right, so let's go through here. We've got 265,000 miles on it. Okay. Air conditioning, power windows, auto trans, blue with black interior, seller's description. I'm going to read this and I'll scroll through the pictures while I'm reading. Square body Chevy is one of the best and most popular GM truck platforms ever produced. Introduced as a replacement for the also classic 67 to 72 generation, square body had a lot to live up with. Okay, a lot of nonsense about that. We all know what a square body is. So this 1990 Chevy Blazer is a rare example and certainly a hot commodity these days. Worth noting, the 87 was the end of the square body pickup as the GMT 400 was introduced as the replacement in 88. Square body Blazer and Suburban were constructed till 91. Yep. After that, GMT 400 versions of both were introduced. This is nearly stock, largely unmolested 1990 Blazer square body, offered in the classic and eye-catching color combination of blue on black. This pickup has survived 35 years and 265,000 miles without being abused, heavily modified, or otherwise beaten into the ground. Tasteful aftermarket upgrades include where did I lost my spot?
Aftermarket upgrades include.
Yes, thank you. A modern radio, aftermarket wheels, dual exhaust. Upgrades aside, seeing one of these Blazers that hasn't been abused beyond recognition is truly something worth seeing. Yes, it is. Interior is much like the rest of the truck, as in great original condition, aside from a few liberties taken by the previous owner. This keeps going on and on. Let's get some more actual information about this thing. Equipped with power windows, air conditioning, and a nice off-road tires, this Blazer is the classic country Cadillac. Okay. Under the hood, 5.7 fuel injection. Truck isn't fast, which it's not supposed to be. Fires right up, runs, drives, and otherwise performs as expected. An old SUV. 700 R4 auto trans. Not bad. Now, surprising enough, I know I was whining about the mileage on the Camaro being way too much, but the Camaros, finding them in good condition. Granted, yes, they're not a dime a dozen, but there's so many Camaros out there that I do think this is overpriced, but I don't think it's by much. In this condition, being that it's supposedly all original, and it does have some nice tasteful upgrades. I do like the small lift, the tires and wheels look good. I would say that this is more of probably about another $7,000, $7,500. Granted, 265,000 miles, those old 5.7, the 350s are fairly bulletproof, engines, but at that point still would want to rebuild that. And same thing with the trans, just to make sure that everything is top notch with it. But I do love that, they kept doing the square body Blazers and Suburbans into the 90s. I do love this kind of melding of the GMT 400 front ends into the excuse me guys, had a little itch in the throat there. Great front end. I think this is the best front end other than the up and down square headlights that they had for a while. That's a really great looking Definitely a fur ball. Probably, breathing in too much cat hair. Anyways. All right. So thank you, Mr. Penetrator, for coming in. Ford Festivas. I did know several people that had a few of them. Very interesting cars. Not that great. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Thanks, Benny. That is the story of my life. The one nice thing is I am gainfully employed again, and it's back for a company that I enjoy working for. So yay. Um, the square bodies definitely are overpriced. However, if I would almost pay any sort of money for a good condition square body crew cab, the 3+3s, those I absolutely adore. Love them. I've always loved them. Had friends that had them, so I remember them as a kid. Love it. Yep. Well, definitely would be very easy to re-energize that. Pick any LS motor and throw it in there, and you got yourself a hell of a rig. Let's see. Hey Phil, thanks for coming in. Appreciate your being here. So Phil, in the chat, I actually work with Phil, so it's nice to see you here. And let's see, Pete, Festivas. Yeah, I mean the Festivas being Koreans. I can't remember if those were actually Kias that Ford bought or whether it was another or Ford, Ford of Korea. Can't remember, but those things were pretty rugged. I had one friend that wrecked hers pretty bad and didn't take much to get it back in line and get her going. Never been a fan of square bodies. Oh, Benny. I understand. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but that's the great thing. The 80s, when it came to car design, they're kind of but the trucks looked great. Between the square bodies and the Ford, man, I love those era both trucks there. Dodges were the only ones that were kind of blasé, kind of whatever to me. But the Ford F-150 and the Chevys, all day long. 25 years ago, almost hit a deer. Ooh. All right. Let's take a look at our next victim. All right. Speaking of, let's go with this 91 Ford F-150 XLT Lariat. Now, this is something I could definitely be a lot more interested. Still a little bit overpriced, but we'll get into it and see what else they say. I hate this. More information about this vehicle, please call us. What if I didn't want to call you? Give me the information. But let's go through these pictures and see what we can see. First thing that I do like about it, I like these, I don't know if you call those Baja style rims, but those are pretty cool. Body looks good, at least at this angle. Chrome bumper looks pretty good there. I like this short bed. Now it's a sharp looking truck. Will they show the interior? There we go. Wow. That's a nice looking interior too. Upgraded CD. And definitely tell it's the Lariat. It's got the cruise control and the all the extra instrument cluster or gauges on the instrument cluster. 5.0. Very nice looking bed liner. Oh god, that's the thing I gotta love. Yeah, I love about Southern vehicles. That is a super clean underneath there. Dang. New exhaust. Those tires, some really nice looking tires there. Okay. This is the quintessential. I know this is a 91, so it's not quite an 80s, but this is this style F-150. Absolutely love it. And, you know, square body Chevys, absolutely love. So anyways, only thing I did not like about the Ford trucks was the twin I-beam front suspension. Fair point. But 95, $999. I agree. I think I'd do, you know, if you had $9,000, you know, cash, I'm sure you could snatch that up. I do like the miles on it a whole lot better than the others. You know, 120 is way better than, you know, 260. Great looking truck. I'd buy it. I'd definitely buy it. All right. Ooh, OJ's. All right. Well, it definitely looks nice in the pictures. Yeah. Oh dear God. Okay, we got to go over this. Anybody you know follows Send It Steve? I think I might actually send this picture to him because you know, hey, if he's got a lifted Corvette now that he just bought, he's got the lifted Civic. Why not throw a lifted Fiero in there? The only thing I can definitely say that I do not like is when people try to pass a Fiero off as Ferrari by putting badges and doing this sort of stuff. That's not cool. I don't, you know, Fieros are Fieros and they're cool just being that. Very interesting that they, you know, made this into a front engine, which would be definitely, you know, you have to do because of the, you know, being on a Blazer chassis. Let's see, one of a kind Pontiac Fiero 4x4 monster car on a Blazer chassis, 350, runs great, clean title, showstopper, $8,900. Let's go through and see. Okay, now I don't know about where you guys are. I'd rather drive this style Bronco than the Blazer. Yep. You know what, Pete, I do believe, you know, I am a Fiero freak. Drove one as a teenager when I still had my permit, and that was one of the old Iron Dukes. And even that was, for me, a kid that had just started driving, was freaking fast. I believe, from what I've read, that when they were developing a Fiero, you know, second generation Fiero, you know, it'd been for an 88 or 89, I think. 88 was the last year, so 89. That they wanted to bring it out in 89, but GM killed it because, you know, bean counters. But that car was supposed to have a much bigger engine bay that could accommodate larger engines. But you go on the internet, you know, today you can find all sorts of videos of people who have done, you know, LS swaps, you know, just regular 350, you know, the old style 350 swaps. Another really popular swap, and this is the one that I would do if I were to get a Fiero, would be the 3800 supercharged out of, you know, your front wheel drive Bonnevilles, Regal GSs, you know, all those, you know, those types of cars. Mostly for the fact is they, front wheel drive. I mean, you get to plop it in the back. There's some extra, reinforcements and engine mounts and that sort of stuff that you got to do, but you don't have to worry about figuring out transmissions and all that sort of stuff. You just have to figure out how you're going to shift it in. But other than that, that's my dream. If let's just say lightning strikes and I were to pick up the Street Speed 717's GT500, I would get some work done on the Continental on Zelda, and I would probably try and pick up a really cheap Fiero and start working on something like that. That's just me. But another thing I wanted to ask you guys, where you guys are, I'm not sure if you guys are the same, but in Vermont, we are regulated on how high our headlights can be. So this car would not be road legal at all because the headlights are way too high. We'd have to put a headlight down in this area. I don't know the exact rules on how high you can put it up, but those would be way too high. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, any front wheel drive engine from a GM product should fit in there fairly easy. LS4 in the SS Impalas, that would be another great one. Yeah, do like how they cut out extra breathing. Oh no, that's stickers. What am I talking about? That's just terrible. Like the Fiero, kind of cool concept. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's what I was saying, Grant. That's what I would do. The GTP supercharged 38 in one of these things, just big enough and enough horsepower to make this car, which is like 1,800, 2,000 pounds, go like a great ape. But that's cool. That is, I gotta say, I don't know that I'd pay $8,900 for it. Hey, how did Las Vegas get into? Anyways, whatever. All right. Let's see. One more. You guys see anything you want to do, and then we'll. No, that's fine. Grant, don't worry about it. I know that you've been, in and out, and that's fine. But that is what I would love to do. Is a 3,800 in there. Oh, no. That's just wrong. And that is not an F-150 regular cab. Yeah, bumper height. Yeah, I know New Hampshire's got very similar regulations as Vermont does. Let's take a look at the 67 Malibu. Unless somebody else has something that you saw that you want to do more. Huh. Yep. I agree with that too, Grant. North Star, if you can get it rebuilt good enough so that it's, you're not going to really be blowing your head gaskets all over the place. Another fine engine choice. But yeah, doing a front wheel drive engine trans combo in a Fiero is a whole lot easier, in my opinion, smarter than trying to jerry rig something to get in. An Eldorado. Galante. All right. We did a. All right. Let's Dodge Stealth. 94 Dodge Stealth RT all-wheel drive turbo. 61,000 miles, manual transmissions. Ticking off all the boxes for me. Leather seats, moonroof, alloy wheels, AM/FM stereo. All right. Very rare sports car in unusually great condition. For stealth, absolutely, because most people, those in the Mitsubishi 3000 GTs, beat the ever-loving snot out of them. $9,000. Current inspection, 61,000 miles. Stock, other than the items mentioned below.
So it's
Megan,
stock, but not.
Yeah, exactly. Racing coilovers, cold air intake, upper radiator hose have matching lower not installed. Okay, and an HKS blow-off valve. Only reason I'm selling, minimize household costs, blah blah. Don't care. Just want more on what the car is. All right. I do have to say I like the color and the matching rims. Pretty, not bad. Oh, the Eldorado is further up. Walt, we'll take a look at that in a minute. We'll do for our last. Kind of these cars, were just weird enough that I always liked them. Yep, definitely. Any car that's been modded, if you got to like those mods. Otherwise, keep the car stock if you ever plan on selling it. See, I don't like that shift knob at all. Very interesting infinity sound and electronic temperature. Interesting yellow stitching. So this stuff's got to be, the shift boot and the emergency brake boot have to be aftermarket because I'm not seeing any other yellow stitching. I don't know if that's, no, that looks regular. Clean car, not bad. But I have to agree, I don't know. I don't know that it's worth the $9,000 that they're asking for it. But again, it is a fairly rare car to find in this fairly stock condition. Looking pretty good though. I'll do more of a $9,000. No, not $9,000. Sorry. Probably do like again, like I said before, $7,000 or so. All right. Mini Viper. Yeah. All right. Where is the Eldorado? The 84 Eldorado for $10,000. It's gonna be our last car for this evening, folks. So like I say, those Mitsubishi, 4,000 or 3,000 GTs and the Stealths were pretty cool cars at the time. All right, so okay, we got an 84 Continental. Oh, sorry. Gosh, I must be tired because I can't read. Cadillac Eldorado Coupe. 9,400 miles. Auto trans. White exterior. Blue interior. Wow. A white car that doesn't have a red interior. Okay. 85 Cadillac Eldorado commemorative edition. One of 200 ever made. Excellent condition inside and out. Everything works as it should. Rust-free, daily driven, has the 4100 throttle body injected motor. Would trade for other classics, especially big sedans. Okay. Always love those kind of pictures. Why don't you just get one from the side, not that weird angle? I can't. Thank you. Yep, Grant, thanks for stopping in. Have yourself a great evening. Definitely see you next Thursday on your stream. I like the hot rod next to it more than I like that Eldorado. Oh, white and blue interior. Huh. Well, at least seats. Okay, well, interesting car. For me, not enough pictures to really throttle body. Yeah. Well, throttle body injection just in general sucks, but yes, GM's was not that great to begin with. Yes, commemorative, car, only 200 made, but I don't know that there's a huge following for mid 80s Cadillac Eldorados. Could be wrong, but I don't know. I wouldn't pay 10 grand for it. I'm not even sure what I'd pay for it, to be honest, but it wouldn't be 10 grand. Anyways. All right. So that, my friends, is going to do it for us this day and time. I really appreciate everybody who stopped in and watched and participated in here. Really makes a huge difference for me, and I hope you guys really enjoy this. Now, if you guys have been throwing around this idea, I'm not sure whether it's something I should do, but spoiled milk is rare, semi-rare, but no one wants it. Yeah. What would you guys feel? And ask around, maybe some other people that you might know, think about it. Doing another live stream where we just do this, just go through Facebook Marketplace and razz on people's cars. If you think it's a good idea, drop comments in the bottom. And if you maybe we'll think about doing that somewhere. Maybe this winter when things are a lot colder and can't get out for as many car videos. Now we've just started. I've got a new little way to end the show. Do it. Okay, I got one from Pete saying to do buy it or boot it on its own live stream. So we will definitely give that some more thought, and we'll see what other people say in the comments, and then we'll go from there. All right, so to end the shows off and my videos from now, I've taken a bit of a page from Jason over at Old Car Auto Guy. I want to say something positive and something that is meaningful to not me and everybody else. So what I've found, quote of dreams are without ambition is like a car without gas. You're not going to get very far. Have a great night, everybody. God bless. Take care.